Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game, Hitman versus Happy. This game taking place here on Northern Isle. On the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have Hitman spawning as the blue orc in this orc versus undead matchup. How are things going to be unfolding here? Happy on the top right spawning as the yellow undead. Happy opening up with his classic Altar of Darkness, Crypt, and Ziggurat. Tomb of Relics will be placed down a bit later, and he may scout with an early acolyte. Standard play by Happy, but even though you know the secret sauce or what, well, actually, you guys, you don't know the secret sauce of Happy. You know the recipe of Happy and what he's gonna do, but the technique and the creation of that secret sauce, which gives him so much success, well, that has been very difficult to recreate. Down to the south here, we are looking at most likely a Blade Master followed up with some grunts, as there is no War Mill. The next key thing to watch for is going to be the Voodoo Lounge timing, that second Orc Burrow, or that tech to tier 2. We'll keep a close eye on that, and from there try and make some predictions. I have seen a little bit more double bestiary as of late in Orc versus Undead, getting up those raiders and just really moving away from the casters, as the casters generally take far too much damage, or are too easy to kill with that Death Coil Frost Nova combination. Anyways, it is going to be that Death Knight here. There's that Tomb of Relics I was mentioning earlier, and he'll pick up perhaps a Rod of Necromancy, and do some creeping with those ghouls. Down to the bottom left, there's that Scouting Acolyte. Happy seeing, getting to see, build orders for years now, knows exactly what Hitman is doing and what he can branch into. Just those predictive plays and making such a big difference overall. All right, is the Acolyte going to end up getting in that final shot? There's a 25 hit point critical strike. Blade Master doesn't get the last hit. Acolyte actually gets the last hit, giving the Death Knight a bit more experience, and perhaps that critical strike by Hitman actually throwing things a bit off right there. That was the lower range of that critical strike. It was a 50 hit point critical strike. That means that the Blade Master only did 25 compared up to a possible 46, and that was in fact a big deal. Alright, that little bit of starting experience more for that Death Knight, as that Ice Troll Priest gonna get cleaned up. Down to the south here, our Blade Master has a bit more work to do to get to level 2 and get access to Windwalk. Wand of Illusion now already on the move here, as the Blade Master will get to level 2 off of this last Murloc Huntsman. Off to the north here, Death Knight now going after this Murloc creep camp as well. We do not see any signs of an expo coming in from Happy, but Happy does have dual circlets of nobility. Alright, wondering, I don't think any of them have actually visited a shop yet, so not quite sure where they got that circlet of nobility, unless it is still dropped on this particular version of Northern Isle. Coming back around, Blade Master going after that Murloc. They're going to go ahead and continue to hunt, and an odd situation. 2 circlets of nobility, and still the Blade Master does not have one of them in this Orc versus Undead matchup. As the tech to tier 2s reach their halfway point, trying to predict what is going to happen next, Hitman needs to get up a War Mill eventually. These Orc Burrows will suffer the focus fire of those long-range Crypt Fiends. Those Crypt Fiends easily deal large amounts of damage to anything, pretty much, except for fortified armor. Fortified, and I guess medium armor overall. Coming back around, Ogre Magi gonna get destroyed off over here, as well as we see level 3 now on that Death Knight. Level 2 Death Coil most likely going to get picked up here, as the Death Knight of Happy does pick up a Scroll of the Beast. That Scroll of the Beast does allow for some very powerful timing attacks, as that 25% damage bonus this early on in the game could be enough to tip things in favor or try and do a bit of a push on a base. Meanwhile, Death Knight now showing up here. There's a Death Coil onto the Blade Master. Blade Master down to 49 hit points, going to be forced to use a Scroll of Speed to get away and use a Healing Salve as well. Another Wind Walk right there, as the Death Knight does a bit of disruption. Scroll of Speed, that Grunt down to 318 hit points. There is another Healing Salve right there, as a Death Coil does land on that Grunt. Grunt purposely trying to get into harm's way and doing exactly that, keeping the army alive and working them together. All right, what is going to end up happening here? Skeletal minions, are they going to be able to get some damage onto that Grunt? They are. Healing Salve trying to save that Grunt again, and pretty much 3 Healing Salve charges already used on one Grunt, but that Grunt did absorb quite a few Death Coils as well. Death Knight now retreating back, his pop-up army of those skeletal minions all coming back or falling back to the ground. Hello, Dustwallow Dweller. Good to see you. We are looking at the Blade Master. Blade Master knows exactly where, or Happy knows exactly where that Blade Master is right now, as a little bit of damage is being done. There goes a Hex, and why would you do that? Happy knows that where that Blade Master is because of that ward, and still decided to try and stick around, perhaps try to get a Death Coil off and will absorb some of that Null Brute experience. Blade Master is already at level 3. Same thing for the Death Knight. Meanwhile, we don't see, or the Lich just came out onto the battlefield, but is currently behind in experience. 31 supply compared to 34. Happy having a slight supply lead here, as the Blade Master perhaps going to cause a little bit of disruption as well. Shadowhunter, where is it? Shadowhunter going to go ahead and do creeping off to the north, perhaps try to get to level 3, while the Blade Master is still causing a bit of disruption, perhaps trying to get that last hit on that Null Warden, not going to be able to do so. Lich does pick up a Ring of Superiority, and also holding one of those Circlets of Nobility, +3 to every single stat, except for the intelligence, +6 there, so that Lich already has +10 damage at level 1, dealing 32 to 38. Shadowhunter now on the board with that healing wave, able to keep the Orc units alive and well a little while longer, as we are at Fortress. Alright, Warmill is getting up that reinforced defenses. Kodo Beast is out here on the battlefield. Only 2 production buildings overall. A second Kodo Beast getting added in here. Perhaps some Devour Magic on some Ghouls and or Crypt Fiends could turn the tide of the upcoming battles. Shadowhunter sitting at level 2 does have a Potion of Greater Mana, but really needs to get up to level 3 for that Potion of Greater Mana to be very effective. Overall, though, we are looking at Rune Bracers and Rings of Protection on that Blade Master, meaning he's going to be difficult to take down with auto attacks, and more importantly in this matchup, resist that Death Coil Frost Nova damage. Tauren Chieftain out here onto the battlefield as well. It looks like he did opt to go for Stomp first. Stomp first with Kodo Beast in play, incredibly important, as those Kodo Beasts often have a difficult time trying to chase their lunch. Short of a Scroll of Speed or a Stomp stun, those Kodo Beasts often miss their Devour target, as all of these Grunts off over here just currently healing up. Tauren Chieftain here. Ghoul is now going to come into play. What's going to happen? This is a bad spot. There is one Ghoul already in the belly. Second Kodo Beast should be able to eat up a little bit more. Are we going to be going into an engagement as well, as there's a silence onto the Tauren Chieftain? Tauren Chieftain could try and put his foot down once that silence does come to an end, as he is going to end up being surrounded. Blade Master going to try and do a Windwalk push out. Yes, he is going to be able to push it out right there after a Stomp goes down. Kodo Beast, both of them now something in their belly, as the Kodo Beast trying to retreat back away here. Kotobi is trying to find some targets, trying to find a way to retreat back out, but not going to be able to do so even with that scroll of speed for that faster movement. Tauren Chieftain are now a little bit low on hit points. Blade Master does have an Orb of Lightning, may be able to get some purges down onto some of those destroyers and stop them from moving, as a giant stomp in that front line, stopping much of the skeletal minions and ghoul damage. However, well, even with home field advantage, Hitman is going to have a little bit of a difficult time, as many of these grunts are low on hit points, and the Kodo Beast, well, still digesting a unit. Wind Rider joining in on the battle here. Are we going to perhaps look at a stomp here? Low hit point grunt could easily get focused down. Death Knight, are we going to see a Death Coil? No, doesn't need it. The range attack of the Dark Ranger enough to finish it off. Lich now just shy of level 3, and that level 2 Death Coil could spell some serious problems. Blade Master trying to catch up. Tauren Chieftain without Endurance Aura, unable to catch up there, and no Purge onto that Crypt Fiend. A handful of attacks, but that Orb of Lightning unable to purge things down. Kind of feels like the Orb of Lightning should have a recharge mechanism as opposed to just a 15% chance of trying to proc that ability, or whatever the chance happens to be. Blade Master now trying to retreat back here. Death Knight could land a Death Coil, but the Blade Master is currently wind-walked and, well, difficult to spot and target. 48 supply. Happy now with the supply advantage compared to 44 by Hitman. Hero level advantage still slightly for Hitman, but, well, Happy is at the wheel of this undead army, and he knows how to get a lot of mileage out of these units and heroes. Or more mileage than most. Hitman, obviously no sloucher either. Coming back around, Obsidian Statue getting purged down a little bit. The Wind Riders, I don't know if they have those Envenom Spears. More units are just constantly getting trained, as we are now going into Berserkers as well. 450 hit point Berserkers. Well, that much more easy to take down. Some people were saying that maybe the Berserker should still have 475 and the Headhunters stay at 350, so that the Headhunters are just not that strong in the early portion of the game, but still a viable late game. Coming back around, well, Arachne going to get finished off here. Gloves of Haste picked up by the Tauren Chieftain. Level 4 now on that Blade Master. Can have a bit more damage. 56 supply compared to 49, as the Blade Master is actually in a bit of trouble, trying to fight back his other way. Tauren Chieftain now has Endurance Aura, as the Blade Master retreats back down to 62 hit points. A beautiful potion of invulnerability right as the Death Coil was about to touch that Blade Master, and keeping that unit alive. Now coming back around the other way. All right, there's a Death Coil. Frost Nova. Blade Master now needs to retreat back. There goes a Stomp. Kodo Beast could end up getting taken down. There's level 2 on the Dark Ranger. Both sides fighting. 47 supply compared to 49. Blade Master trying to use every single bit of hit points to stay alive here, while still dealing and dishing out that damage. Death Knight level 4, Lich level 3, Dark Ranger level 2, going up against 432. Hero levels are still about the same, as that Kodo Beast has nothing in its belly. Blade Master going to find a low hit point Ghoul, going to finish it off there. Perhaps going to try and take down this, Destroyer now, as more units coming back out onto the battlefield. All right, Shadowhunter needs some Clarity Potions, some more mana. Healing Wave needs to bounce around. 48 supply compared to 52. Happy has a slightly larger army, but, well, as long as the Orc has plenty of items, that could come out a bit better. No Envenom Spear that I see, and that Illusion doing a great job of disrupting the healing from that Healing Salve, as another Raider going to get taken down there. All right, both sides fighting their way through. Tauren Chieftain perhaps going to try and land a Stomp, going to find a Stomp, and, well, deal quite a bit of damage to all of these Crypt Fiends. The Crypt Fiends unable to, were delayed in finishing off that Wind Rider there, as the Berserkers are now out here on the battlefield. Tauren Chieftain doesn't have that much mana. There's a Dust of Appearance trying to reveal those Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends popping back up out of the ground, as the Destroyer unable to retreat easily, and, well, just staying right there. Healing Wave and saving that Tauren Chieftain up in that frontline spot, as that just continual heal over time, allowing that Tauren Chieftain to stay alive. Kodo Beast getting taken down here, as we saw a bit of long distance mining. I'm not quite sure why there was a line of peons right there, but a line of peons to try and just get a little bit of additional gold, as the Death Knight Well, the Death Knight now looking to clear out of this creep camp. Perhaps Hitman has so much gold or so much lumber that he doesn't need anymore, and is just trying to, well, inch out of or get another ounce of gold or so to try and get an additional unit or two out on the field faster. All right, Death Knight, Lich, Frost Armor being placed down here. Peon's going to get served up on an undead platter, and this could spell problems as the black arrows of the Dark Ranger finding their targets and popping up those lesser dark minions. Back off to the north, there goes another Ogre Magi. That's going to get taken out here. Units are retreating back as the Death Knight, Dark Ranger, and a Lich going to come here to finish off the remainder of this creep camp once more. All right, are we going to see the Kodo Beast get purged down? No, it is not. Damage is still racking up. Crypt Fiend, is it going to be able to finish off the Kodo Beast? Yes, it will, as the Crypt Fiend still somehow staying alive. Kodo Beast represented a large amount of damage, but unable to stay alive here. Another Crypt Fiend going to go ahead and end up surviving. That Frost Armor coupled with that 400 hit point heal makes such a big difference. Death Knight going to perhaps save another Crypt Fiend, but no, a 147 critical strike at just the right time, making that Death Coil just a split second late. So many things going right for Hitman right now, but is it enough? Happy has been playing a solid game, but still, it feels like he's it feels like he could lose this at any point, or both players could lose this at any point. Just one misstep anywhere, as both players are walking to the edge, trying to get everything out of their units. Kodo Beast down to 810 hit points already. Healing Wave bouncing around. Blade Master going to try and find some more targets. That Kodo Beast represent a big damage bonus across all of these Berserkers, Blade Masters, and Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain with the level 2 stomp here. Big Ring of Protection plus that Medallion of Courage, representing additional hit points and mana. That Tauren Chieftain still needs a little bit more. Blade Master, is he going to be able to survive? No, Blade Master ends up falling as the Berserkers are still fighting their way through. Tauren Chieftain, however, still leading the charge here, as the Dark Ranger is still trying to get in some more damage here. Kodo Beast trying to retreat back, as you see, without any real stomps. Not really much going on here, as the Berserkers are able to poke apart and really dish out a lot more damage than I would have expected. Death Knight gonna Death Coil, find that Crypt Fiend there, and now going after those Obsidian statues instead. One or two more shots onto that Obsidian statue, as the Dark Ranger gonna end up gonna level up alongside that Lich. 35 supply now compared to 43. A bit of over focus onto some Crypt Fiends and to some Obsidian statues opened up damage onto the remainder of the Orc units, and now we see a big change from just a moment ago. Happy sitting at 46 supply, Hitman sitting at 35, losing that Blade Master and all of that damage that he represented. A big problem here, as the Kodo Beast tries to retreat back down to 122 hit points, could end up getting taken down. Blade Master unable to be saved. Shadow Hunter shows up to the party saying, "What did I miss?" as the Blade Master falls right before him. Happy with the lower score, but a close game overall, and comes away with the victory. Happy ultimately in that end, that last hero kill, giving him that experience needed to take the lead, the hero score lead away from Hitman. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed it.